Hello everybody, how you doing? This is the Exotic Bourbon Hunter coming to you from another location. This is over in Kissimmee, pretty close to Disney. So if you're over here on a Disney vacation, don't hesitate to stop over here. It's right at 192 and the Turnpike, so very easily accessible. But we're over here at Parton Liquors. Over here at Parton Liquors, you can see their address here over in Kissimmee, Florida. If you're over here, give this place a try. They have some nice treats in here, but also they give back to charity. I love these stories. Now over here at Parton Liquors, as soon as you walk in the door, they have some amazing things and some amazing store picks. They also have some amazing sales. You cannot pass these up, especially when I tell you the story behind their store picks. The moment you walk in the door, I mean, look at this. They have Russell's Reserve, $29.99 or 30 beans. Holy shit. You got over here, they got their Yellowstone coming in at 25 beans. They got their High West Bourbon coming in at 20 beans. I mean, they even have Grey Goose coming in at 20 beans. Jeez, I might have to get a bottle of Grey Goose. They got a 13 Colony coming in at 40 beans. They have their Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered coming in at 65 beans. They also have their own Smoke Wagon Private Barrel over here. Now, the good thing is when you get into their store picks here, they donate $5 from each bottle that that is purchased to a charity. So far to date, the store owner has donated $10,600 to local charities. But you can actually see, if you buy one of these Smoke Wagon Private Reserve Barrel store picks, $5 will go to Oceans of Hope Foundation. You know, you've got their Jack Daniel's Single Barrel store pick here. $5 will go to the Dog Lando Foundation. Then you go over here to their Elijah Craig. This is going to be a single barrel. And this is also a store pick. And this $5 will go to a Childhood for Hope Children charity. We go to their Russell's Reserve, and this is going to be their Private Barrel Select. It comes in at 70 beans, but $5 goes to a House of Hope in Kenya. I'm going to tell you, not very many people donate to charities, but when they do, I highly recommend you help support the cause. They have a 1792 foolproof store pick. We have a 1792 bottled in bond. And then I just picked up this bottle the other day from here. They have the Evan Williams single barrel coming in at 35 beans. Right over here, they have some more delicious goodies here, including their Maker's Mark Private Select. You can see the mash build over here. They have their Yellowstone. This is a hand pick. This comes in at 60 beans at 115 proof. They have their Fortuna, their Larceny barrel proof. They also have their Elijah Craig barrel proof into the High West Cat Strength, and then the Widow Jane Lucky 13 coming in at 130 beans. They also have their Masters Collection for Woodford Reserve, both the Sonoma triple finished, and then they have the straight bourbon whiskey. And then we have their Yellowstone 2023. And this is going to be finished in a Tokaji cast. I had a little trouble pronouncing that correctly. And then we got our Willet. We got the Rye, Smoke Wagon Rise. We have our Uncut Unfiltered Smoke Wagon. We have the small batch. And then we also have their I think that's just their straight bourbon whiskey right there. Michter's is delicious, and you can't go wrong with the price of Michter's. Michter's is one of those sleeping giants that everyone praises, and you just can't go wrong with. We go into our Woodford Reserve up here, into the double oak. Like I said, this double oak is delicious. And then they have their Woodford Reserve Kentucky Derby edition too. We go into our Pinhook over here. And then we also go into our Thomas & More and then our Calumet. They have the 10-year, 14-year, and they have the 15-year. I don't see the 16. And then we have our High West products over here. Into the Old Elk. I was able to have some Old Elk cigar cut. I was so delighted to be able to have this Old Elk cigar cut. This is delicious, especially if you have a cigar. This will definitely complement the flavors of a cigar for sure. We go into our Old Hickory and then our Chicken Cock. And once again, if you guys are seeing something that I should be getting, don't forget to hesitate and put in the comments what I should have bought. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, it's free to subscribe. And on top of that, it also helps the Google algorithms out. So we got our Whistle Pig, which is on sale over here, including the 10-year rye. We have the farm stock too. And then we'll continue over here. We have our Bardstown, both the Fusion series, the Origin series. And then Green River is really coming out. I have a Green River store pick from 5 Star Liquors and is phenomenal. I haven't actually gotten any of these other ones, but if any of these drink like their store pick drinks, I have a feeling that this is an up and coming star in the bourbon game. We got our Wise Man bourbon here. And then we go into our Basil Hayden's. Basil Hayden's is just a glorified version of Jim Beam. It's their higher end products. And then we go into our Chattanooga whiskey. And then they do have the Jack Daniel's single barrel rye, and it's coming in at 133.4 proof. And they also have one for 130 proof over here. So grab this 133 if you're able to. It's one you probably won't be disappointed with, and I usually have it with an ice cube. And we go into our single barrel Jack Daniel's, and that's coming in at 128 proof. And then we just got our triple mash, our bonded rye, and then our bonded. We then go into our Old Forester products here. They've got the Prohibition style. Once again, that's one I highly recommend you try. And then they also have the Old Forester Statesman here. Now from there, we got our Buffalo Trace. You only get 2 bottles per customer. And then we have our Blade and Bow. Into our Murray Hill Club whiskey. And then we have our Four Roses. Like I said, this is the Four Roses where you buy 2 for 60 bucks. We have our McKenna 10-year here, and then our Heaven Hill, phenomenal. And for the price, you can't go wrong. 43 beans. I mean, you got to be stupid to pass that up. And then we have our Larceny, and then we have our Maker's Mark products. We have their cask strength, we have French oak, and then the regular Makers, both big boy bottles and little boy bottles. And then we go with our Old Ezra into some Bullet. This is a Bullet 12-year rye. First time I'm seeing that. That looks interesting. We go into our regular Bullet bourbon. And then they even have big boy bottles of Sazerac rye over here hiding in the corner. And then we go into some of our flavored bourbons. Here's the Jim Beam 7, which I highly recommend you try. For 25 beans, you can't go wrong. This bourbon is a superstar if there is one. Got our Knob Creek products. They have Knob Creek 12 here. They only have 2 bottles, but it comes in at 85 beans. And then we have some more Elijah Craig. They have a Toasted here and their rye. and into some wild turkey. Here's the barrel proof I recommend. I was absolutely impressed with this rare breed barrel proof. We also go into the Russell's 6 rye and the Russell's 10-year. 10-year bourbon. 30 beans. 30. We got our Kentucky straight bourbon into Yellowstone and then Cooper's. And then we're going to go over here into our other, including our Uncle Nearest. Uncle Nearest, like I say, is delicious. You can't go wrong with some Uncle Nearest. And then we have our Heaven's Door. Now over here we have our tin cup. Look at this, 1.75 liter bottle coming in at just 60 or 56 beans. We have our Garrison Brothers over here, single barrel. We also have our Red Line bourbon into our Jack Carr, into our Hoot and Young, and then they have Peerless. They have the high rye coming in at 140 beans, their straight rye, and they also have their regular bourbon small batch. Here's their Doc Swinson here, including their Nassif Family Reserve. This is the second time I'm seeing these. Let me know in the comments if this is something that I should pick up. I have not seen these before, and I have not tried them before. And then also we're going to continue over here. I mean, look at this, Sazerac rye. I mean, 25 beans for a bottle. You can't go wrong at all. We also have our I.W. Harper over here, into our Woodinville, our Old Charter. We have Henry McKenna over here, and this is a treat. Look at this, Evan Williams, 1.75 liter bottle of bourbon, 22 beans. Old fashions for days, boys and girls. Old fashions for days. We go into our Mellow Corn, our Kentucky Vintage and Kentucky Pure, into our Noah Mills and Old Granddad 114. Then we have our 13 Colonies. And then from here, we're going to go graduate to the back of the liquor store for all their money picks. All right, over here at Parton Liquors, we're going to show you what they have behind the counter. Got permission to get up close and personal. Oh, baby, here we go. So we start off up here. We have our Old Elk. This is their Infinity Blend, coming in at 150 beans. Then we have our Rare Perfection, both 14 and 15-year-old. We have our Old Kentucky coming in. This is going to be batch number 12, coming in at 200 beans. Then they have the other Old Kentucky products here. We have our Four Gates here, including Brazilian Amburana Oak, the Split Stave by Kelvin. They have the Barossa Creek and the BRBN Down Under, or I can't pronounce that correctly. We have our Sweetens Cove, and then we go into our Blue Run over here. We also have our Canadian 151 proof whiskey. We have some little bottles of Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. And then up here we have our Clyde Mays. We go into our Bardstown. We have our Four Square. We go into the Collaborative Series, Discovery Series, into their Garrison Brothers. And then we go into the George Dickel 17, Remus Repeal Reserve, and into the Chicken Cock. And then we also go into some of our Japanese whiskeys. And then from here, we'll just jump into a quick little tequila browsing of their higher end tequilas here. I have some people who have been asking for this. So here you go, without any further ado. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free to subscribe, and it helps out on the Google algorithms. And also, don't forget to make a comment. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong. Also, let me know if I'm missing out on something that I missed out on, so I could come back here and grab it. We have some of their scotches up here. Redbreast 27. Wow, that's a phenomenal scotch, which I've never had, but I guarantee it's delicious. Some Jack Daniel's Sinatra. Jack Daniel's 150th anniversary. Whistling Pig 18. Boss Hog. And that's gonna about wrap it up, everybody. I want to thank you for tuning in, and from this time till next time to maybe tomorrow. Thank you for joining, and I'll catch you later, alligators. Forget about it.